بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله الذي لا إله إلا هو على ما من به علينا من النعم الكثيرة الظاهرة والباطنة، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلوات الله وسلامه عليه. In the name of Allah, the most merciful and the most compassionate. All praise belongs to Allah, the one that there's none that has the right to be worshipped except Him, who has bestowed upon His blessings that are numerous, those blessings that are outward and inward. And I bear witness that none has the right to be worshipped other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's alone, without having any partners. And I bear witness that Muhammad ibn Abdullah is His servant and His messenger. May the peace and salutations of Allah be upon him and his family and his companions, and upon all those who follow on his guidance into the establishment of the last day. To proceed, ya ikhwan, Allahumma inna na'udhu bika min ilmin la yanfa', min qalbin la yakhsha', min nafsin la tashba', wa min du'a'in la yusma'. Verily, ya Allah, we seek refuge with you from knowledge that has no benefit, from a heart that has no fear, from a soul that has no satisfaction, no contentment, from a dua that goes unanswered, from a dua that goes unanswered. To proceed, يا إخوان, فنرحب بكم جميعا إلى هذه السلسلة العلمية. So we welcome each and every one of you to these knowledge-based classes. حيثما ندرس اليوم من علم اللغة. من علم اللغة. Today's class, we're learning, inshallah ta'ala, from the science of the Arabic language. وعندنا والحمد لله قراءة جديدة. So today we have a new reading. الحمد لله رب العالمين. وهذه القراءة تسمى في متحف الآثار. في متحف الآثار. So today's reading is called في متحف الآثار. في متحف الآثار. In the Museum of Antiques. في متحف الآثار. In the Museum of Antiques. In the Museum of Antiques. طيب, لأصحاب الكتب, for all those that have the book, الحمد لله, وصلنا إلى صفحة 124. 124. For all those that have the book, we're on page number 124. 124. طيب, وعندنا بعض الكلمات الجديدة. So we have some new words. والحمد لله رب العالمين. الكلمات الجديدة. We have some new words. الكلمات الجديدة. الكلمات الجديدة. طيب, لأصحاب الجدد, عندنا هنا في هذا الدرس نكتب كل كلمة 25 مرة. 25 مرة. For our new students, we write all of our words 25 times. We write our new words 25 times. طيب, الأولى, our first word يا إخوان, تكون. 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 In the مضارع we say, in the present tense we say يتكون, to be made up of. يتكون. تكون. يتكون, to consist of, to be made up from, to be formed by, to be made from, or made of. تكون. يتكون. هذا الدرس يتكون من. This lesson is constructed of, is made of. تكون. 25 times. طيب, عندنا طابق. طوابق. طابق, والجمع the plural طوابق. طابق. طابق, floor or a floor. طابق. طوابق. طابق. طابق. طوابق. طابق, you're going to write a floor. Can also be a level. Can also be stairs or a flight of stairs, like a في المبنى مثلا, in a building structure, فيه 4 طوابق. It has 4 floors, 4 flights, 4 levels. طيب, عندنا بعد ذلك تاريخ. 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 Our next word, تاريخ, history. تاريخ. تاريخ, history. تاريخ, history. تاريخ. تاريخ. طيب, تاريخ نترجمها history. تاريخ, we're going to translate as history. Now, علم تاريخ, we can say علم تاريخ, the science of history. الإمام البخاري رحمه الله له كتاب يسمى التاريخ الكبير. التاريخ الكبير. Imam al-Bukhari, may Allah have mercy upon him, he has a book called At-Tariq al-Kabir, the big history, or the large book of history. طيب. التاريخ. For our new students, we write our new words 25 times. Write our new words 25 times. Oh yeah. Our next word we're going to write قبل الميلاد. قبل الميلاد. Where's my cough? قبل الميلاد. Now this word here يا إخوان كلمة تستخدم عند النصرانية كثيرا وفي اللغة الإنجليزية أيضا. This word here is used a lot in English, also amongst the Christians. You're going to write قبل الميلاد. Now this miladi is like when we say in English BC. This is going to be BC, meaning before Christ. Before Christ. Before Christ. قبل الميلادي, like BC. فعندنا الآن في علم التاريخ بعض تعبيرات. So in history and in the science of history, you have some phrases. So نسمع من هذه تعبيرة قبل الميلادي. So in history, you're going to hear some phrases. From these phrases, you're going to hear قبل الميلادي, BC, before the time of Jesus. عليه صلاة والسلام. عليه صلاة والسلام. You can also أو تسمع كذلك ميلاديا أو ميلادي. You also may hear the same phrase in a different way. ميلاديا. Write this down يا إخوان. Is my meme. ميلادي. This should be Arabic. Right again. طيب. ميلادي. This ميلادي نفس المعنى قبل الميلادي. قبل ميلادي. Now this word ميلادي, الياء ميلادي, is the same meaning as BC. ميلادي. Sometimes you may hear قبل الميلاد, before Christ. Sometimes you may hear the word ميلادي. Before Christ. Before Christ. وهذا تعبير يسمع في التاريخ. Now remember, this phrase here, ميلادي, قبل الميلادي, بعد الميلادي, before Christ, after Christ. You hear this a lot in history. We'll give you one more, inshallah. بعد الميلادي. After Christ. So the history before Christ, قبل الميلادي, and the history after Christ, بعد ميلادي. After Christ. بعد الميلادي. اسمع يا. طيب. بعد الميلادي, after Christ. طيب وعندنا كلمة ميلاد. ميلاد مختلف من ميلادي. فانتبهوا هنا. فانتبهوا هنا. So pay attention here. There's another word we're going to give. ميلاد. ميلاد is different than ميلاد قبل الميلادي. ميلاد is just the date of one's birth. ميلاد is ولادة. ولادة. ميلاد is just a general word, the time of one's birth. Time of one's birth. ميلاد. ولادة. ميلاد is the time. وقت الولادة. وقت الولادة. The time of one's birth. So you're going to write time of one's birth. المرأة مثلا في المستشفى. The woman is in the hospital. تلد. She gives birth. نقول متى ميلاد الطفل. متى ميلاد الطفل. We say when is the birth of the baby. ميلاد. طيب ميلاد. So write this word down يا إخوان. كل كلمة تكتب 25 مرة. Remember each of our words we write 25 times. We write our new words 25 times. Right, we write our new word 25 times. طيب, let's take the remaining words من القراءة from the reading. طيب لأصحاب الكتب وصلنا إلى صفحة 124. 124. For those that have the book, we have arrived at page number 124. 124. Page number 124. All right, for those that have the book, we're on page number 124. السلام عليكم يا شيخ. Right, we're on page number 124. طيب الآن طيب قال بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قال دخل علي المتحف. Ali entered the museum. فرآه يتكون من 3 طوابق. And he saw that it consists of 3 floors. 3 floors. 3 floors. وفي الطابق الأرضي, and on the ground floor, قال وفي الطابق الأرضي وجد نفسه في صالة كبيرة. He found himself in a big hallway. مزدحمة بالزائرين. And this hallway was crowded with زائرين, visitors. طيب فعندنا هنا ثلاثة طوابق. So let's write this down يا إخوان. دخل علي المتحف. علي entered the museum. دخل علي المتحف. Ali entered the museum. Ali entered the museum. All right, well, let's read the art reading first, and then we'll come back and chop it up. Yeah. قال وفي الطابق الأرضي, and upon the ground level floor وجد نفسه في صالة كبيرة مزدحمة بالزائرين. He found himself upon a crowded floor, or a big hallway that was crowded. It was packed with visitors. Packed with visitors. قال وفي الطابق الأول شاهد علي الآثار. And on the first floor, on the first floor, so like on the first floor, Ali witnessed آثار, antiques. وفي الطبق الأول شاهد علي الآثار التي, he witnessed, he saw antiques, التي يعود تاريخها إلى ما قبل ميلاد المسيح عليه الصلاة والسلام. He says he saw antiques that the dates of them go back before the time of Jesus Christ عليه الصلاة والسلام. يعود تاريخها إلى ما قبل ميلاد المسيح عليه الصلاة والسلام. So he says وجد نفسه, he saw so let's write وجد نفسه, he saw وجد نفسه, he found himself في صالة كبيرة مزدحمة بالزائرين. He found himself in a large hallway that was crowded with visitors. Right, this tremendous benefit or beneficial sentence. وجد نفسه, he found himself في صالة كبيرة مزدحمة بالزائرين. He found himself in a large hallway. Sala is a hallway. It can also be like a waiting room. Sala. في صالة كبيرة مزدحمة. In a large hallway crowded with visitors. He found himself in a large hallway crowded with visitors. الزائر هو الذي يزور شخص. The زائر is a visitor. The word زائر is a visitor. Okay. So the word زائر, I want you to write, is a visitor. زائر. كلمة جديدة, a new word. لعلنا مرورنا بها قبل. مرورنا بها قبل. I think we had this word before. زائر in one of our earlier books. We're going to write زائر is a visitor. زائر. زائر is a visitor. زائر. Okay. زائر, a visitor. مزدحم, crowded, packed, congested. مزدحم. مزدحم. Yeah. The word مزدحم. مزدحم. Right? مز فتحة دحم, crowded, packed. So زائر, a visitor. مزدحم, crowded, packed. طيب. It says وفي الطابق الأول شاهد علي آثار التي يعود تاريخها إلى ما قبل ميلاد المسيح. So he says, upon the first floor, Ali witnessed antiques that date back. Its history goes back for the time of Jesus Christ. May peace and salutations of Allah be upon him. طيب اكتب هذه الجملة. Write this sentence down يا إخوان. Remember, كل كلمة جديدة نريد أن نكتبها 25 مرة. 25 مرة. Every new word We want to write our new words 25 times each. He says, وفي الطابق الأولي, upon the first floor, and upon the first floor, الأولي, and upon the first floor, الطابق الأول, the first floor. شاهد علي الآثار التي, شاهد علي الآثار التي, on the first floor, شاهد to witness, to see. الآثار التي, he witnessed antiques that, he witnessed antiques that. شاهد علي, oh عفوا, Ali witnessed, not he. Ali witnessed, شاهد to witness, شاهد to witness. What did he witness? الآثار التي, antiques that, يعود تاريخها إلى ما قبل ميلاد المسيح. يعود. He witnessed antiques that, its history, or their history, antiques, its history, no. يعود تاريخها, its history goes back إلى ما قبل ميلاد المسيح, المسيح عليه السلام, عليه السلام. He says he witnessed antiques. يعود تاريخها إلى ما قبل ميلاد المسيح عليه السلام, عليه السلام. I write this beautiful sentence يا إخوان. You students of Arabic, اكتبوا هذه الجملة المباركة. Write down this blessed sentence. So he witnessed antiques التي يعود تاريخها, antiques that its history, meaning the time in history, goes back to before the time of Christ. It goes back before the time of Christ. Its history dates back to before the time of Christ. May peace be upon him. جملة جميلة, a beautiful sentence يا إخوان. جملة جميلة, جملة جميلة. طيب. ثم قال, Then he mentioned نغير اللون. Let's change our color. وهي موضوعة بطريقة منظمة وأمام كل أثر لوحة توضح رقمه وزمنه ومكانه وتاريخ اكتشافه. MashaAllah, beautiful sentence. He says, وهي موضوعة بطريقة منظمة, and the antiques were placed. They were placed بطريقة منظمة, in an organized manner. In an organized manner. منظم, organized. وأمام كل أثر, and in front of each antique. لوحة is like a plaque or a board. It could be a sheet. توضح رقمه, which explains its number. وزمنه, and its time. ومكانه, and its place. وتاريخ اكتشافه, and the date that it was discovered. ما شاء الله يا إخوان, جملة جميلة. جملة جميلة. Beautiful sentence يا إخوان. Write this sentence down يا إخوان. He says, وهي, the antiques, and they, وهي موضوعة. موضوعة. Pay attention here يا إخوان. وهي موضوعة. وهي موضوعنا. موضوعة بطريقة منظمة, and they were placed. وضع يضع. طريقة منظمة. And هي, the هي تعود إلى الآثار. The here goes back to the antiques. And they, the antiques, were placed in or by an organized manner. And where's my wow? موضوعة. There should be a wow here. موضوعة. No. وهي موضوعة. طيب. نتوقف هنا عند كلمة موضوع. Now let's stop for a moment at the word موضوع. The word موضوع. طيب ليس الآن, لكن, not now, لكن عندما يتدرج الطالب في علمه العربية, في علمه العربية. Not right now, we're still beginners. We're still beginners. May Allah يعلمنا وإياكم العربية. May Allah teach us and you the language of the Arab. There's going to come a time in which the student, in his development, in his learning, عندما يلاحظ كلمة, when he witnesses a word, when he looks at a word, ينظر ضمن الكلمة, he's going to look right through the word. إلى أصل الكلمة, إلى أصل الكلمة. It's going to come a time, not now, we're still beginners, but in our development, inshallah, when the student looks at a word, he or she is going to look right at right through the word. مثلا, for example, كتاب, مكتوب, كتابة. طيب, انظروا, لاحظوا هذه الكلمات الثلاثة. هذه الكلمات الثلاثة. I want you to look at these three words. أو هذه الكلمات الثلاث. طيب, كتاب, مكتوب, كتابة, طيب, عندما ندبر ونركز نتدبر ونركز على هذه الكلمات الثلاث. When we look at these three words and we focus on these three words, you can see the origin is the same. Look through the word. You're going to see كتب. 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 The origin is going to be ka of all three. كتب. يساوي كتب. Going to equal the word كتب. The root of kitabun is kataba. The root of maktubun is kataba. The root of kitabatun is kataba. They come from the same root. Kitabun, a book. Maktubun, anything that's written down. Anything that is written, you can call it maktub. Whatever it is, kitaban, maqalatan, mujallatan, whatever it is. It could be a book, an article, a magazine, faqratan, a paragraph, jumlatan, a sentence, kalimatan, a word. أي شيء تكتب مكتوب. Anything that's written down, you can call it maktub. Kitabatun is writing. It be print, also handwriting. طيب, أصلها سواء. أصلها سواء. Their origin is the same. كتب is their root. For your first 2 years of Arabic, you can't do this yet. والله أعلم. إلا أن فتح الله تعالى عليك. Unless Allah opens it up for you. Usually your first 2 years, you're not studying the likes of this. تركز على حفظ الكلمات. حفظ الكلمات. You're focusing on memorizing vocabulary. That's it. That's all you focus on your first 2 years of Arabic is memorizing vocab. That's it. تركيزا, your focus. يمكنك أن تدرس النحو والصرف والبلاغة. نعم, لكن لا تركز عليها أبدا. Your first 2 years, you can study grammar and syntax and the science of eloquence. Yes, but you're not going to focus on it. Never. We teach some sarf. We teach some nahu. Generally, we haven't studied nahu yet. We're going to start it this year, inshallah, on this level. Inshallah. Your first 2 years of Arabic learning, your focus is memorizing vocabulary. At the Turkish, that's your focus. في سنتي الأوليتين. And your first 2 years of Arabic, your focus is vocab. That's it. That's it. طيب. So the verb, or the word موضوع. The noun, actually, al-ism, is موضوع. 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 So this question is for our beloved sister Carol. And our sister, our Sheikha, Sis Zakiya. Why is it موضوعة? In the sentence he says, وهي موضوعة. Why is it موضوعة? Why is it feminine? What does it go back to? What does it go back to? طيب موضوع هنا أصله موضوع. موضوع, the origin is موضوع, and the ماذا, and the مذكر, and the masculine is feminine for a reason here. طيب موضوع, the origin is موضوع. موضوع. Now pay attention here يا إخوان. هذا يدل على جمال العربية. This is going to show you the beauty of Arabic. Inshallah. موضوع. This is going to show you the beauty of Arabic. طيب. في علم الحديث موضوع له معنى. وفي اللغة العربية له أو لها عدة معاني. In the science of hadith, this word موضوع has a meaning. In the science of hadith, the word موضوع has a meaning. طيب في علم الحديث. In the science of hadith, it means fabricated. In the science of hadith, موضوع means fabricated. أشد من الكذب is more severe than lying. Somebody made it up. A lie is not usually made up. A lie is the مخالفة للواقع, is the opposite of the truth, or it opposes the truth, but it's not really made up. موضوع اختلق. موضوع is something somebody invented. It's not even close. So it's more severe. So you're going to write في علم الحديث. In the science of hadith, موضوع is something made up, fabricated. You're going to write اختلق. اختلق. It's fabricated. Somebody made it up. That's the word موضوع in hadith. اختلق. Somebody made it up. It's fabricated. They just invented. Somebody made it up. Now, in the general science of Arabic, it has many meanings. هذه الكلمة الوحيدة لها عدة معاني. عدة معاني. This one word has many meanings, يا إخوان. In hadith, it just has one. Fabricated. Somebody made it up. In the science of Arabic, the general Arabic language, لها عدة معاني. It has many meanings. The first meaning, fabricated. First meaning, fabricated. We're going to write موضوع. I'm going to show you the beauty of Arabic, inshallah, in these examples. One word. Allahu Akbar. One word. So you're going to write موضوع. 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 The first meaning of موضوع, the same in hadith, fabricated. The first meaning. هذا موضوع. That's fabrication. That's invented. Somebody made it up. Second meaning. بحث أو دار البحث is the subject. A subject. The theme. The theme of something. موضوع الدرس. The subject of the class. What's the موضوع? What's the subject? What are we talking about? تدارب البحث. What is the center of the research? The subject, the theme, the focus. It can also mean something is placed. Something is placed. You say, Ya Nu'aym, أين كتابي? Where's my book? He say, هو موضوع على طاولة. He says, it is placed. It is placed. It is situated. It is located on the table. Something is placed or located. Right? The one word can have many meanings, ikhwan. This shows the beauty, Arabic. وَدِقَّتُهَا, and the precision and the accuracy of it. تفضل يا شيخ. Say the last part again, Sheikh. Depending on not the structure of the sentence, but the context of the sentence. سياق الجملة. أحسنت يا شيخ. The context of the sentence is usually going to tell you the meaning of the word. The meaning of the word. How is the context of it? How it's being used in the sentence. I know. Oh yeah. Let's get back to the lesson, ya ikhwan. He says, وَأَمَامَ كُلِّ أَثَرٍ, and in front of each antique, وَأَمَامَ, he says, وَأَمَامَ كُلِّ مضاف مضاف إليه أثر لوحة. Write this down, ya ikhwan. Beautiful sentence in this reading. So eloquent. وَأَمَامَ كُلِّ أَثَرٍ لوحة, and in front of each antique, and in front of each antique, and in front of each antique. Lawhatun. Now, lawha can be a board, it can be a sheet, it can be a slate, something that's written on, and in front of each antique, there is a sheet. وَأَمَامَ كُلِّ أَثَرٍ لَوْحَةٌ, and in front of each antique is a sheet. تُوَضِّحُ رَقْمَهُ, and this sheet, it clarifies, explains its number. Each antique has a number. So this sheet of paper, or whatever it is, it can be paper, card, whatever it is going to tuwaddihu. It's going to clarify the number of the antique. MashaAllah, beautiful sentence. Tuwaddihu. It's going to clarify, it should be a tag. Tuwaddihu raqmahu. It clarifies its number. توضح رقمه. It clarifies, explains its number. وَالزَّمَنَ, and its time, like the time period of it. وَزَمَنَهُ, it also explains the time period. وَمَكَانَ, and its place. MashaAllah. Where did it come from? You go to a museum, تدخل متحف مثلا, you go to a museum, وترى أثرا, you see some antiques. وأمام كل أثر لوحة, in front of each antique there's a plaque, a sheet of something, مكتوب عليها, and it has some things written on it. هذه اللوحة توضح الأثر. This sheet is going to explain some things about the antique. رقم, its number. This is for number 7. زمن, its time period. It's in the century قبل الميلادي, before the time of the Christ عليه السلام. ومكانه, and its place. في إفريقيا, in Africa, for example. هذا مهم. That's beautiful يا إخوان. All right, let's do one more inshallah. He says, وَتَارِيخ اكتشافه. Beautiful. And the date of its discovering. The day it was discovered. وتاريخ منصوب مفعول به. وتاريخ اكتشافه أو اكتشافه. نعم. طيب. And the date it was discovered. That's why when we go to the museums, I like to take a notebook. It's fun, but it's also ماذا علمي. It's educational also. Like you're reading a book. You have some books you just read. You just read the book. Some books I just have, I'm just reading the book. I don't take notes. I'm just reading the book, reading the book, reading the book. That's for my reading. I'm just practicing my reading. I'm reading something in English, for example. I'm just reading it. I'm working on my English. Just reading, 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 and reading. I have a book in Arabic. I'm just reading the book. I'm not taking down notes in this class. No, I'm just reading, 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 reading. Then you have another book that you're studying. I have another book, مثلا. In this book, I have my notes. This is different than my reading book. My reading book, all I do is read. You're just reading. That's it. No notebook, no qalam, no lawha, no notebook, no pen, no paper. La. You're just reading. That's it. So you have one book for reading. Everybody has a book of reading. You should take a book. This is my reading book. These books here are the books I read. I'm just reading these books. That's it. I'm not memorizing, not taking notes. All I do is read. They have other books. I study these books. So these books, I don't read except that I have a notebook. I write the subject, topic, every new word, each benefit. This is a book you're studying. So you go to the museum, you have your notebook. You write down the benefits. Your trip is going to be, mashallah, more heartfelt. Allah Adam. He says, and the date of its discovery. اكتشافه. Let's write this last sentence, ya ikhwan. That explains its number and its time period and its place and its date of and the date of its discovery and the date of its discovery. Beautiful sentence, ya ikhwan. Right, so we read the first two paragraphs of our new reading. Right. I want you to take these two paragraphs and I want you to give me 10 verbs, 10 nouns, 10 particles from the first two paragraphs. Right, so today we read from dakhala to وتاريخ اكتشافه. These two paragraphs here. I want you to give me 10 nouns, 10 verbs, and 10 particles. And I want you to practice your reading. The girls did a great job. MashaAllah, may Allah reward them. The last homework, to record themselves reading. The way you become a better reader is that you have to read. Many students of the Arabic language now, we want to be proficient in reading, but we don't read. We have to read and read and read and read and read. We have to read. So I want you to give me 10 nouns, 10 verbs, 10 particles, and read these two paragraphs 3 times. You're going to record your voice again, reading these two paragraphs. Take your time 3 times. So 3 recordings of the paragraphs. May Allah bless you, ya ikhwan. نكتفي بهذا. We'll suffice ourselves here. وسبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Goodbye.